perfect, these three flow really well together. They feel like a mini arc inside your larger countdown, starting with the cosmic spiritual, God gene, moving into the primal, fight or flight, and then pulling the rug out from under us with the appendix revelation. I'll refine them just slightly for rhythm and tone, keeping that unsettling but playful voice you've built. Number 14, the God gene. Imagine if your faith, your spirituality, even your deepest sense of awe could be traced back to a single squiggle of DNA. In 2004, geneticist Dean Hamer claimed exactly that, identifying VMAT2, which he nicknamed the God gene. According to him, this gene predisposes people to mystical experiences, even tying it to higher dopamine levels, suggesting that prayer and meditation are less divine revelation and more chemical buzz. The idea exploded, capturing headlines, sparking outrage, and igniting furious debates in science. If true, it meant belief wasn't free will, divine gift, or personal struggle. It was preloaded code, a glitch, a script written into your biology. Many researchers criticized the claim and struggled to replicate it, but the damage was done. The unsettling idea was already out there, that the soul itself might just be chemistry in disguise. Number 13, the unconscious predator. You're walking home late at night. Footsteps behind you. Heart racing. Palms sweating. Your body surges with adrenaline before you've even turned your head. That's the fight or flight response, our ancient survival system, always ready to save us from predators. But here's the disturbing part. Research suggests this response never really switches off. For early humans, the possibility of being hunted was so constant that our brains evolved to keep the alarm humming quietly in the background. Today, there are no lions in the bushes, but the system hasn't gotten the memo. So it improvises, turning shadows into stalkers, backfiring cars into gunshots, unread texts into rejection. What was once heroic instinct has become modern anxiety, a nervous system throwing tantrums, desperate to find a threat where there is none. Number 12, the useless appendix. For decades, the appendix was the evolutionary punchline, pointless, vestigial, a ticking time bomb waiting to get inflamed. Doctors called it a biological cul-de-sac, proof that evolution was messy and imperfect. Comforting in a way. But then came the twist. New research revealed the appendix isn't useless at all. It's a safe house for good bacteria, a hidden bunker that helps repopulate your gut after illness wipes everything out. Suddenly, the mistake looked more like design, which raises an unsettling question. If we were wrong about the appendix, what else are we wrong about? Tonsils? Wisdom teeth? All the other parts we casually dismiss as leftovers? The discovery forced us to admit the truth. The body isn't a clumsy patchwork. It's an intricately tuned system we still barely understand. These now match the energy of your entries from 11 to 1, while expanding the big picture angle at the top of the countdown. Want me to weave these into the full 14-1 draft you've been building, so you can see the flow as one long piece, or keep polishing them in standalone numbered modules for maximum flexibility? These four flow beautifully. They create a natural buildup from the illusion of medicine, placebo, illusion of rest, default mode, illusion of control, zombie mode, illusion of rationality. It feels like a descent into deeper and deeper layers of self-deception. I've polished them just a touch for pacing and consistency with the rest of your countdown, keeping the tone equal parts unsettling, conversational, and a little wry. Number 7, the placebo effect. You take a new pill from your doctor, convinced it'll make you better. Days later, your symptoms fade. A miracle, until you find out the pill was just sugar. Welcome to the placebo effect, one of the most powerful and disturbing quirks of the human mind. For years, scientists brushed it off as psychology, a patient's hopeful imagination. But research shows it's much more. Placebos can actually lower blood pressure, reduce pain, even alter brain chemistry. The horrifying part isn't that the pill did nothing. It's that you did everything. Your belief rewired your biology, which means medicine isn't just chemistry, it's also story. And sometimes the story is stronger than the drug. Number 6, the default mode network. You think you're doing nothing, just lying there, staring at the ceiling, but your brain is burning fuel like a jet engine. That's the default mode network, a system that lights up when you're idle, daydreaming, or lost in thought. For years, neuroscientists dismissed it as background noise. Then they discovered it's one of the busiest networks in your brain, constantly churning out a narrative where you are the main character. It replays the past, rehearses the future, and scripts conversations that haven't happened yet. The unsettling part? Your brain spends more energy obsessing over your self story than it does focusing on the real world. It's like finding out your car burns more gas parked in the driveway than driving on the highway. Even at rest, your brain won't shut up about you. Namaskar, number 5, the zombie within you. Think you're steering your body, making deliberate choices about every move, but much of your life runs on autopilot, controlled by what neuroscientists call zombie mode. In the early 2000s, researchers discovered 2 separate visual systems in the brain, one conscious, one unconscious. The unconscious pathway takes in information and acts on it before you're even aware. That's why you can dodge a ball flung at your head without deciding to. It's not you, it's the zombie, which means countless daily actions aren't your choices at all. They're primitive reflexes running beneath awareness. You're less a master puppeteer than a co-pilot, sharing the cockpit with an ancient system you don't even know is there. Number 4, the rationality myth. You pride yourself on being rational. You weigh the facts, analyze the data, and make careful decisions. At least that's the story you tell yourself. The truth is uglier. Your brain is an emotional, biased machine. In experiments, patients with brain damage that eliminated emotional processing became unable to make decisions, period. They could list pros and cons endlessly, but couldn't choose. Why? Because emotions provide the final push. Without them, reason stalls out. The devastating truth: most of your decisions start emotionally. Then your conscious brain scrambles to justify them with logic after the fact. You're not a calculating machine. You're a storyteller in denial. Rationality isn't steering the ship. It's narrating the ride. These sit really well as the lead up to your top 3 illusions: pain, senses, etc. Would you like me to now weave all 14 into a single polished master countdown draft? With smooth transitions, so it reads like a continuous long-form article or video script, or keep them as standalone modules for you to drop in piece by piece. These 3 are an excellent finale. They pull the whole countdown together by escalating from the personal lie of pain to the universal lie of perception, and finally to the cosmic lie of reality itself. To keep them consistent with the voice of your earlier entries, wry, unsettling, conversational, here's a polished version. Number 3, the lie of your physical pain. You stub your toe on a table leg. A sharp, stabbing pain shoots through your body. You scream, hop around, and for a minute, it feels like your entire existence has shrunk down to your toe. You believe pain is a direct signal from your body. Damage equals pain. But that's the lie. Pain is not a raw, objective transmission. It's a subjective story crafted by your brain. It factors in your mood, your fear, your memories, even your focus. That's why a soldier can be shot in battle and not feel it until the adrenaline fades. Their brain decides pain isn't useful right now, so it withholds the signal. And the reverse happens too. Chronic pain patients can feel agony from a harmless touch because their brain has rewritten the rules. The lie is that pain equals injury. The truth is that pain is a survival narrative, sometimes accurate, sometimes wildly misleading. Number 2, the lie of your senses. At a concert, the bass thunders through the room. You don't just hear it, you feel it vibrating in your chest, your skin, your bones. It seems real, total, undeniable. But your brain is faking it. It's stitching together input from your ears, your skin, and the floor beneath your feet into one seamless illusion. Scientists call this cross-modal perception, a blending of senses that all humans experience to some degree. Smells trigger memories. Sounds give you goosebumps. Colors shift depending on the light and surrounding context. Your senses aren't 5 clean channels. They're a messy, interwoven collage. The lie is that you experience the world directly. The truth is, your brain is constantly remixing reality, producing a unified picture that feels solid but is riddled with shortcuts and errors. You don't perceive reality. You perceive a story your brain is improvising in real time. Number 1, the quantum observer. This last one isn't just about your brain. It's about the universe itself. The famous double-slit experiment shattered the idea of an objective reality. fire particles through two slits, and they behave like waves, scattering into interference patterns, as if they pass through both slits at once. But the moment you try to observe which slit they go through, the pattern collapses. The particles act like discrete objects instead, as if your act of looking forced them to choose. Observation changes reality. This isn't a glitch in the lab. It's a fundamental property of the universe. The unsettling implication is that there is no fixed objective reality, just a cloud of probabilities that solidify when consciousness comes knocking. The universe isn't a finished book you're reading. It's a draft manuscript, and every time you look, you're writing a line of it yourself. This ending lands perfectly. It takes the countdown from the deeply personal, pain and senses, to the disturbingly universal, reality itself. Would you like me to now stitch all entries, 14.1, into a single continuous draft, with smooth transitions so it reads like a finished long-form piece? Or keep them as standalone numbered sections for flexibility?